roof sheet installation, and eave preparation. The eave trim and the purling at the ridge should be marked on 3-foot centers to use as a reference while applying the inside closures and the roof sheets. Cut an inside closure strip and place a starter piece on top of the eave trim. Center the first major rib as directed in your building's installation instructions. Splice a full closure to the starting closure and apply along the top of the eave. Continue closure run along the eave in preparation for the next roof panel. Use the visual reference marks made earlier on the eave trim and ridge purlin to keep the closures centered properly. Once the eave is prepared, the first roof panel may be installed. Check the erection drawings to determine the roof overhang at the eave. Set the roof panel in place over the inside closure, ensuring the major ribs of the panel nest properly with the inside closure. As the starting panel is placed, it should be exactly the same distance from the rake end of the building to both the lower and upper ends of the roof sheet. This will assure the roof panel is square with the frame. By using the above-mentioned reference marks after each sheet, the roof can maintain a square application all the way to the end. When the first panel is properly placed, secure the panel to the structure with the appropriate fasteners. With the first panel run installed, the side lap sealant can be applied, and the second panel run may be started. Prepare the eave with an inside closure as shown previously. Position the panel so that the overlapping ribs will nest properly. Be sure to check for proper overhang and panel coverage. Apply the tape sealant to the lap side of the lower panel's major rib. The tape sealant should only be applied to clean, dry surfaces. With the release paper in place, press firmly along the length of the sealant to ensure proper adhesion. In removing the protective paper from the tape sealant, care should be taken not to pull the tape sealant away from the panel. Install the adjoining panel, positioning the overlap rib with care. Repeat this process until the entire roof is installed. Remember to sweep metal shavings from the roof at the end of each work period. Rake trim installation. Rake trim will have to be cut with tin snips at the center to create the peak where the opposing rakes meet. Attach rake trim to wall panels with Laptex screws and seal between the roof panel and rake trim with tape sealant or caulk as shown in the erection drawings. Skylight ridge roll installation. Skylight ridge roll is used to cap off the roof sheets at the peak of the roof. The skylight material has a tendency to sag if it's not installed in such a way as to hold the correct pitch or crown needed to run water off of the skylight. To accomplish this, measure the distance outside to outside that's required to achieve this crown. Using half of that distance, measure down from the center or peak of the building and make a mark on the roof panel. This needs to be done on both sides and both ends of the roof. You can now pop a chalk line the length of the roof on both sides. This is your visual guide for placing the ridge row. Next, place outside closure strips on top of the roof sheets located 1 inch uphill of your visual reference. Install the ridge roll on top of the closures and ridge using the chalk line to keep both sides in line and running straight. All of the lap screws should be installed according to the installation drawings during this process. If the building length requires a spliced ridge roll, the splice overlap needs to be caulked when installed. Remember, sweep up all the drill shavings from the panels at the end of each work period to help maintain a safe work environment and to avoid surface rust that will damage the panel finish.